I want y'all to ask yourselves this. Why do you think insanity never ends? It's a very real thought, especially what happens with corporations, governments, institutions. We've seen it all, especially those that went through the 2020s and graduated between the class of, let's just say, 2017 to 2020, 21. You know what I'm talking about. The young adults, those that were born between the late 90s and early 2000s. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You see, back when we grew up, we had amazing TV shows. You know what that includes? Star Wars The Clone Wars, regular show, Amazing World Gumball, and of course Teen Titans Go, of course, and the original one. Dude, those shows were the best thing of our childhood. Even Ben 10 was in it too. I mean, damn. We had a pretty good childhood, that's for sure. Very good. Now, say what you will about it. Even the 90s shows were great too. 80s as well. I mean, come on. We were the last generation that had really good TV shows and had an easy story to follow. Nowadays, it's just slop. And all the iPad kids getting angry when their iPads get taken away. I mean, what the hell? This is unbelievable. And I know I covered it in a different video meeting when Project Masculinity was active back then. But now, looking back, it was a really good decision to becoming a leader. Because one, I had to turn the tide. Two, I had to address the problem, what was going on with masculinity. And three, I had to lead the charge, which I'll later cover on in the next few videos. But today, we gotta talk about the insanity that's been going on with the younger generations, and especially the latter Gen Z to early Gen Alpha, and then the next one after that. You know, the only reason why insanity hasn't even ended at all is because companies are just making profits off of it, which is not only pretty rude, but extremely corruptive and evil. I mean, seriously, who profits from YouTube Kids? Yes, I am talking about the section of YouTube that says they talk about protecting the children, but the next thing you know, they allow all this evil, disgusting content that's going on, which I think is not only disturbing, but horrible. Somebody needs to be fired and investigated for all this. Seriously, I am not joking. Especially for someone that's been a content creator for over a decade, this is unbelievable. Especially for someone that's about to be turning 25, maybe having a girlfriend and starting a family. This is worrying. If this doesn't get solved, I will do what Elon Musk does and actually buy the stock of Google and then take over. Do exactly what he did, except 100 million gazillion times better. That's what I would do. Unfortunately, no one has the balls to even do that. And that's a big problem, because we forget who we are. Men are supposed to be protectors of society, not pussified versions of themselves. I mean, are you kidding me? What the hell, man? We were supposed to be hunters and gatherers. That's who we were, and we will never forget about it. But this insanity attack against masculinity and femininity, and even the nuclear family, seriously, when will this end? Probably never, until it gets depopulated. That's the real agenda. Not only is this black-pilled, but it's simply the truth. We have to stop, and it has to end. Because if it doesn't end, then who is going to protect that old world order that will later be the new world order? Who's going to protect it? It's a very serious question. We have politicians that represent big corporations, big pharma, and let's just say big cart, aka cartel, which is technically the agencies. That's the real one. Now that big question is, who's going to stop them? Because no one has ever asked, how are y'all doing? The real question is, how can I make my life better even in a very shitty situation? That's the question I keep asking every time, whether I succeed or fail. We as humans, we're always there for room and improvement. And yes, also representing our values too. These are important things. And look, regardless of what religion you're in, these are very serious matters. They're very serious. But I think it's really, really time to peel off the mask and who's really behind all this. Now, I'll tell you one thing. It is much darker than what anyone has imagined. It's a very serious thing. Very serious. Because let's be fair, despite all of the negative mainstream left and right news slop, I'm able to think for myself and push back for the very first time. And you see, with the new diet that I'm in, 60% animal protein, 40% fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and maybe in some cases, nuts too, which that's included in the 60-40% diet. We were not meant to do 9-to-5 stuff. We were meant to hunter, gather, and yes, make very cool inventions and spend time with our families and friends. But unfortunately, some guy decided to be like, hey, during the industrial age, let's make everybody a slave. Okay, sure, that may have worked for the old times, but we're in the new ones. It ain't gonna fly anymore. Because once the AI stuff gets fully developed, that useless machinery, the old stuff that was made for the factory times, isn't going to work. Hey, look, we already went through the 4th Industrial Revolution, which, by the way, Mr. Schwab was a part of that. And look, the main reason why I'm pushing for the 5th one is to come back to our roots. Come back to our roots. That's the 5th Industrial Revolution right there. Not only am I going to be the first one to lead the charge, I'll be the first one to be saying, you will own your freedom and be happy. Quite the opposite of you will own nothing and be happy. Because look at these houses. Where are they supposed to be now? You know what they're supposed to be? Affordable. Because let's be fair. All the gaslighting that we've been going through for like literally years and years and decades, it's never going to end. But what will never end is actually combating it and fighting back. That's what truly matters right now. And look, especially someone that actually walks as consistently as possible, I do think we need to ask very serious questions. Is this food really necessary? And does it actually meet my protein, carbs, and fat, and my calorie requirements? Even when I do an Uber Eats order for Panda, I asked, is this even worth it for me? If yes, then it will work. But guess what? Especially when I have a lot of different goals in life, I think it's just ultimately time. It's really, really time to pull off the curtains and fight back. I think that time has already come. Now, in a sincere way, you gotta really think, what else is new? What else is next for 2026? What's actually really the next best thing right now? And look, I gotta get out of the way and make sure I don't get hit, and I have enough space to even record, which of course is actually quite necessary. Okay, what else is new? I think what else is new right now is that eventually, when the time is right and everyone decides to fight back and actually say no to this insanity, then we will reveal the answer on how we can do that. I think the best way to end it is just not buy into it at all, especially with the pandemic, because I was in a meeting recently and I kind of found out that those that actually resist to the end, they won everything. Because let's be fair, the education system is not what it used to be. And if the AI gets developed enough and you actually have historical figures to look up to, nothing's gonna stop them. Nothing. And it's not too late to self-improve and motivate. It's just the question is, what are you fighting for? What's the real deal on that one? Yeah, what's the real deal? What's the actual deal? The actual deal is your life. That's what matters. Especially as George Carlin once said, if you're not in the big club, you ain't in it. You don't know why he said that? Because he revealed something that not very many people ever talk about, is the people on top. Especially those people that make the decisions that bureaucrats never discuss, that only discuss with their donors. This is why dark money should never be invented. The only money that should be invented is the money that you have in your possession. That's what matters. Until that point comes, no one's going to be ready for what's happening. The only way you can end insanity right now is to not buy in it at all and own your freedom and be happy. That's it for today's video. If you want to support even further than the last time, like and share it, comment down below, and subscribe to the Banister channel. Take the golden pill. The revolution is now, and we are counting on you to end the insanity that's been against you for all these years. See you in the next one. Take care, innovator.
If you enjoy videos like this, and you're actually interested in videos like this one that just happened recently, do me a favor, like and share and comment down below and subscribe to this channel right here and right now. With that in mind, I'll see you in the next video, innovator.